Hi, this video will demonstrate how to transfer your files to your home folder or your H drive on the OPS network using a Macintosh computer. The home folder is a folder that every staff member has on the OPS server. From now on, I will refer to this as your H drive. Your H drive is a great place to put all of your folders and files that you work on so that you always have them backed up. If your computer crashed, you would always have a backup on that H drive. I'm going to show you the steps to clean up your documents and to transfer them. First, they're asking you to not include any personal information on the server. They're also asking, due to server space, to not include any pictures and to not include any videos. If the pictures and videos are important for your work, it's suggested that you back them up either to a flash drive or a DVD on your own in case your computer ever crashed. Now, I also have some documents that are not inside folders. It's a great organization tip to put them in folders. If you want to see what's inside that, you can always double click it, but if you're looking at a lot of it, you can click it one time on a Mac computer, press the space bar, and it will give you a preview of what that is, and then when you press the space bar again, it closes it without actually opening up that document. That's a quick, easy way to see what that file might include. Now, that's a file that I definitely want to put on my H drive, so I'm going to drag that into one of the folders that I need. Now, I have a lot of my folders and files on my desktop, but don't forget you might have some files hiding somewhere else. I'm going to go down into my Finder, which is this blue face on the left side of my dock, and when I click, I'm going to go up and look in my Documents folder just to see if there's some documents I might want to back up in there. And I do. I see a lot of documents in there that I would want to make sure that I put in my H drive. So I'll demonstrate how to move those also. They do ask that you don't put any documents that you're no longer using, so this is a good time to start cleaning up some of the documents that you no longer need. When you're going to transfer them to the H drive, you need to make sure that you are within the OPS network so that it can find the server. One way that you can tell is if you're in the network is by going down to the dock and looking for where your H drive would be. I see this question mark, and this question mark is where my blue folder should be. That's where my home folder would be, and it should appear with my e-login username. But that question mark is telling me that I am not connected to the server for some reason. It could be that I was not logged in when I was in the network. I take my laptop home, and when I'm outside of the network, that question mark would appear. When I return to work, it's important that I log out and log back in so that it will pick up on the network. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to go up to the Apple and choose Log Out, and then I'll log out and log in and see if it connects. Now that I've logged back in, I'm going to go down to the dock to see if I can find my H drive. And there it is. I've located it, and I can see my username that I used to log into the network. Now, when you want to open this up, one way that you can do it is by clicking on the folder, and you can see all of the folders, and you can click to open up one of the folders. Another option is to click Open in Finder, and it will open up a window that allows you to see any of the folders that you already have. I've saved some folders in here, but several of you may have an empty folder at this point. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag some of the folders that I want into my H drive. I can select one at a time and drag them in, and it will transfer all of the information in there. Another thing that I can do is I can click and drag a rectangle over several folders at a time, and I could drag all of them at the same time. Now, a little heads up, when you start to do this, it is wise not to do this when you are doing testing in the building. It does eat up a lot of bandwidth when you're moving a large amount of data. I had one principal where it took over 8 hours to move all of his folders, and it uses up that bandwidth. A suggestion would maybe be choose a day that you're not going to need to take your laptop or your computer home and transfer it towards the end of the day so it can run through the night. Now, I did mention that I had some files in my documents that I want to move over also, so I need to open up another Finder window. I'll go File, New Finder window, and then I'm going to go down to Documents, and I could drag anything from here back to that Finder window. When I drag my Documents window down, I'll be able to drag any of my folders onto the H drive that I want to include to back up to the server. Once you complete moving all of your files to the H drive, it's important that you only work out of the H drive from now on. So I'm going to demonstrate a couple of things that you can do. Some feel uncomfortable just taking all of this information down into the recycle bin and taking it off of their desktop. They just don't feel comfortable doing that. So you could hold down your Control key and click and create a new folder and call this something like Old Files. But it's important that once you put all of these folders that are now on the H drive into your Old Files folder, that you no longer work with those old files. Just tuck them away, and when you feel comfortable, then you can delete them off of that computer. You really don't need them on the desktop or in your documents anymore. They're out on the H drive. And what's great is you can get to them from any computer as long as you log in as yourself or you use the OPS web desktop portal. So let's talk about that a little bit. If you are going to work on your files and you're here in the OPS network, you will go down to the dock, click on your H drive, and then choose the folder, or if you like to open it in the Finder like I do, you can open it first, and then you'll open up the folder that you want to work with. You'll find the document that you want to work with. Once that document opens up, you'll make the changes that you want, and then when you click Save, it will save immediately back into the H drive as long as you're here in the OPS network. So I'm going to make this change of the color. I'll choose Save, and it will save it to the H drive. And I'll close it. Now it's a little bit different if you're at home. If you're at home and you want to find your documents are not going to show up inside this H drive, because once you go away from the OPS network, you cannot get inside this folder. That's when you're going to need to use the OPS Web Desktop Portal. There are training videos on the Tech Hub website. Look for OPS Web Desktop Portal training videos. The website address is portal.ops.org. And inside that website, if you're at home, you can find all of your files inside there. Now let's think about if you're at OPS, you're at your job, and you want to create a new file. How would you put that new file in the H drive? So I'm going to open up a brand new Microsoft Word document. I'm going to just name it something simple. And then this time when I go to save it, either through File Save or the little floppy disk, it's going to ask me where do I want to save it. And the problem is there's not a really easy way to find the H drive. I could go down to my computer that's listed under the devices and walk through a few steps to find my H drive, but I'm going to cancel out of this and show you a slightly easier way. I'm going to make my H drive appear on the left sidebar so it shows up when I want to save. To do that, follow these steps. You click on your name for the H drive, open it in the Finder, and then you're going to go down and you need to find your computer somewhere listed under the devices. When I open this up a little bit wider, I can see that this is the name of my computer. It has my initials at the end of it. Depending on how your building tech support set it up, you need to be able to find that. And then inside here, I see my staff homes. And if yours does not look like this, you might need to get some help from your building tech support. But when I click on my staff homes folder, I can see my eLogin username. I'm going to take that folder, I'm going to click right on the blue folder itself, and I'm going to click and drag it down underneath this little house that has my eLogin name, and I'm going to release it. And that gives me a shortcut to my H drive right here on the sidebar. Now be careful, this one that has your username with the house, that is not your H drive. That's actually just showing when you log into your computer using your network name. The H drive is going to be this blue folder that we pulled. Now let's go through the steps to save again. I open up the document, I click Save, and now I can see my H drive appears right here on the left side. When I click on it, I can choose which folder I want to put this in, and then I can click Save. And now I can locate that same file when I'm at home using the portal, or I can locate it when I'm at work by going down into my H drive. Reminder, last thing that's really important is that you no longer use the folders out on your desktop or in your documents. You'll get confused as to which one's the most current. Just use the file inside the H drive. When you're at home, you'll need to use portal.ops.org to locate your files. If you would like to learn more about the Portal website, please visit www.ops.org/TechHub and look for the OPS Web Desktop Portal training under the OPS applications. Have a great day!